Aloha and welcome to Ninth Island RC. So there's a new vehicle that just hit the market, finally became available, and a lot of you guys already know it is the Rlaarlo. I'm not sure if that's pronounced correctly. Rlaarlo. Rlaarlo. Anyway, it's AK-917. Basically, it is a 1/10 scale Porsche 917, and honestly, it looks incredible. Now, going back a couple of months ago, they teased us with this image here. And it just showed the rear view of the car in shadow, and that's all we could see. Tail lights, and it just said something about it being developed for 1 year and 2 months, but literally that was the only image we got. Had no clue. People were taking guesses, and in some of the comments that I've read in other people's videos, yes, some people did guess correctly that it was a Porsche 917. Then going back a few weeks ago, they finally unveiled this, of which we got our first looks at the car itself. Wasn't a whole lot of information. Now, you could tell that there was going to be 2 color options, and that was all we could really tell, because honestly, they still gave us no information. Look forward to your arrival. That was pretty much the extent of it. Although, you could see car, you could see 2 different color combinations, and just that alone, actually, it looked really good. So, I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. It was either March 13th or 14th, they finally had the pre-order site go live, and there was a countdown, showed how much until you could pre-order. Well, that countdown is at 0, and the pre-orders have begun. Now, they are doing several different variants of it. As you can see here, there is literally a brushed metal chassis, aluminum chassis. There is a brushless aluminum chassis. There's a brushless carbon fiber chassis. And then for those who want a roller, they're selling the rollers in both the aluminum and the carbon fiber chassis. On top of that, and unless you've already ordered, chances are you're probably not going to get in on this one. The first 200 buyers get the carbon fiber wings free. That's a $30 value. Buyers 201 through 500 get the gold-plated 52-tooth hardened steel spur gear. Now, why does that matter? 52 tooth. That's one of the things that I haven't seen covered in the other videos. So we're just going to skip by this, although there is a speedrun competition with this car. It's going to take place in May. Supposedly, they're not releasing the rules or any further information until next month. So stay tuned for April. Now, here's coming where others have not, at least from what I've seen, have not included, and that's the specifics of the different versions. And the reason why I'm doing this video is basically so that people can understand why they truly should go with the carbon fiber brushless ready-to-run version. It's all down to not just the chassis itself, but even the electronics are different. That's the key point that I have not seen others cover. Now, as you can see, outer package, they all include a gift box except the brushless carbon fiber version, which includes the EVA case, as you see here. The others, it's, I believe it's like a styrofoam carrying case. This is definitely a much higher quality carrying case, but only included with the brushless carbon fiber ready to run. You can purchase it separately, but if you want it included. The next thing is the motors. The brushed is a 13 turn 550 can. Now you would think that the brushless versions are running the same motor. They're not. As you can see here, the aluminum chassis version is running a 3650 at 4300 kV. The carbon fiber version, on the other hand, is running a 3660 3900 kV. Yes, slower, but not slower. The RPMs may be slower, but we'll get into the gearing, and that's what makes up the difference. Now, power consumption, not a huge difference between the brushed at 880, the brushless on the aluminum 900, 1300 for the motor being used in the carbon fiber. Much higher torque, lower RPM, but again, we'll get to that in a minute. Now, supposedly they are including a single 2S 3300 milliamp LiPo battery. They do offer 5000 milliamp as well. That can be purchased separately. Now we get to the next difference. You get down here to the shock towers. You notice that the brushed and the aluminum chassis brushless both include 3.5 millimeter 6061 aluminum shock towers. However, the carbon fiber chassis, and this one is included in the roller, includes 3.5 millimeter carbon fiber shock towers, front and rear. So there's another difference. You get down to the servo horn. The aluminum chassis versions in both brushed and brushless, as well as the roller, all include nylon servo horns. The carbon fiber includes a 6061. Another reason, the upper deck. Again, the aluminum versions all include nylon plastic upper decks. The carbon fiber chassis includes a 3 millimeter carbon fiber upper deck. So additional value. The wheels, same thing. The aluminum chassis versions all include plastic wheels. The carbon fiber version includes an aluminum wheel. Not only that, if I remember correctly, I believe that the aluminum wheel is just slightly, it's 1 or 2 millimeters larger in diameter. That's not going to make a huge difference, but the fact that you get an aluminum wheel with the carbon fiber versions, whether it's ready to run or roller, whereas you get plastic wheels with the aluminum versions. The hex hub, again, the aluminum chassis versions include nylon or just plastic hex hubs. The carbon fiber versions include aluminum hexes, but they're not just regular hexes. They look like disc brakes, including a 6-piston caliper. So that kind of gives it a nice little additional visual appeal. Obviously aluminum versus plastic is going to give a performance benefit as well, because it's not going to strip like the plastic ones will eventually do. Another difference, the battery tray. With the aluminum chassis versions, there is no adjustment in the battery tray. You must use one specific size battery, and honestly, I don't remember I thought it, here we go, battery tray size. So it's 142 by 49 by 32. The carbon fiber ones, on the other hand, have a fully adjustable carbon fiber battery tray. The arms kind of swivel to lock the battery in, but you can also adjust the size, the positioning, the height. Huge advantage there. The speed controller. So with the brushed version, you get an 80 amp ESC. Now this one is a little strange. With the brushless version, you get a 60 amp brushless ESC, which, you know, honestly, I don't really run any brushed, so I'm sure there's a valid reason why the brushless ESC is 60 amp versus the brushed being 80. But here's the huge difference. With the carbon fiber RTR, you're getting a 120 amp brushless ESC. So that makes a huge difference. Now we jump over to the gearing, and this is where there was a big surprise, at least for me, and I'm sure a lot of others will also find this interesting. So with the aluminum chassis ones, you are getting plastic spur gears, whereas you get CNC steel spur gears with the carbon fiber versions. But you notice that the aluminum ones use 78 tooth, or I should say come with a 78 tooth, and the carbon fiber version comes with a 63 tooth. Now remember back to the included for the first, from numbers 201 through 500, they get that 52 tooth spur gear. So definitely going to make that vehicle go faster. Something to remember. The other part, we'll go to the pinion. So the brushed motor version comes with a 30 tooth. The brushless, and these are all steel, but the aluminum versions come with 30 tooth CNC steel pinions. The carbon fiber versions come with 34 tooth. So you're looking at 7830 for the brushless aluminum chassis with the 44, was it 44 or 4300? 4300 kV motor. With the carbon fiber and its 3900 kV motor, 6334. Definitely going to make a huge difference. And then the final difference has to do with the included lights. Now, the rollers do not include any lights, only the RTRs. However, the aluminum chassis versions only come with headlights and taillights. When you jump up to the carbon fiber, you not only get turn signals, you also get these exhaust, they're calling them exhaust backfire lights. And if you go back to the original, you see the red LED here and the red LED here. So I don't know if those are the brake lights or if if those are the backfire lights. I'm going to assume those are the brake lights. So these backfire lights, I don't know where specifically they are. I think there was a rear view on rear view image somewhere. Trying to find it real fast, but I don't think. Yeah, that's just the carbon fiber. Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll real fast to try and find it so I can keep this kind of short. Where are we? Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't seem to find a rear image. But, obviously, the additional LEDs are not a huge difference in terms of value. Because people are going to obviously question, when you see the rollers being 130 and 180, and you see the brushed ready to run at basically a little less than 170, the brushless 200, and then an extra $100 to go with the carbon fiber. Now, obviously, carbon fiber is going to cost more no matter what. Carbon fiber is not cheap to produce. You know, they have to make a profit, obviously. But when you consider all of the other advantages, all the additional items, the upgrades that you get by going with the carbon fiber ready to run, that $100 extra is a huge, huge value. Now, I say $100 extra because right now, that's what it is. If you notice pre-sale prices, this is something that they are doing only until next month. The moment they start shipping, then these prices are all going to increase to these prices. And these are not the MSRP, these are their actual street prices. The MSRP probably is, you know, illusionary higher, but these are going to be the prices that you'll actually pay. But still, when you're talking, you know, the brushed version going from 168 to 300, the brushless ready to run going from 200 to 400, the brushless carbon fiber going from 300 to 500. Still $100 difference, but I mean, literally, you're going an extra $200 on both the aluminum brushless and the carbon fiber brushless. Even the rollers are, you know, I mean, the carbon fiber, it's an extra $100 if you miss the pre-sale price. The aluminum, the difference is even greater. You're going from 130 to 250, so it's an extra $120. By far, the best value, especially if you can get it during the sale price, you know, the pre-sale price, is getting the brushless carbon fiber ready to run. I promise you will not be disappointed. So, until next time, this is 9th Island RC signing out. Mahalo.